Everything it keeps changing, including our finances. If we take a look last 10, 20 years, life is keep getting more expensive and more expensive, starting from gas prices, rents, food, and everything in between. Same thing applies when it comes to buying a life insurance. If we go back 10, 20 years, maybe having a 200,000 or even $100,000 life insurance in most cases, that was good enough. But I but today I'm going to prove you that every single individual, especially if you're married and have a family, you need to have minimum $1 million coverage or more. Hey everybody, my Scribian is here. Last 22 years helping people when it comes to insurance services. Sometimes I study and I look back 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, how much coverage was enough back in the days. If we go back only 10, 15 years, maybe having 100,000 or $250,000 life insurance was good enough. Is it the case today? And I'm sure you'll agree with me that it's not. Why? Because life is keep getting expensive. Things change. Lifestyle changes. Everything went up. So you got to upgrade your policy if you have one, of course. If you don't even wait. Secure your life insurance because as you age, price goes up, and God forbid if you have health issues, price gonna double, triple. In some cases, you're not gonna be able to get a coverage. Now, today I want to talk about and focus more on why every single individual should need $1 million coverage. And the reason why is because if we take the average individual making 50,000 a year and we replace that income with 10 years, that's already 500,000. So we need to understand that you want to replace your income at least 10 years. And those terms that I'm talking about, it's like minimum, but you want to think beyond that. So that's 500,000 right there. Now, what if you have a mortgage? Let's say you have a mortgage and you own 400,000. If you add up into that 500,000, that's going to take you all the way to 900,000. And the other 100,000, assuming you don't have any debt, but is that the case in many cases? It's not. Most people have average of 100,000 plus debt, including credit cards, student loans, and auto loans. So do you see why $1 million is not even enough? I'm not even counting if you have kids and you want to cover other liabilities. And also, I'm not even including funeral expenses. God forbid something happens to the individual. That's why we need to understand one thing, guys. If you have a life insurance, take a look at your policies. The first question is how much coverage you have. And second, what type of policy. In my experience, for many years selling insurance, over 22 years, I learned that majority of people, I would say 60% of the individuals, don't know exactly what kind of coverage they have. And sometimes, and in many cases, when I review policies, people are surprised what they have, or they assumed their policy had this much coverage or certain options. But when I review the policies, they realize that's not the case. So, what's my challenge or what's my advice to all of you? Take a look at your policies. Number one, increase your coverages. Especially if you got a policy 5, 10 years ago, your lifestyle changed. And as I mentioned earlier, life got expensive. That coverage that you bought 10, 15 years ago, that 250,000 coverage or that $100,000 coverage has not the same power anymore. So you got to bump up your coverage. I believe, especially I'm talking to the parents, if you have a kid, 1 or 2 or 3, you want to make sure you leave them something decent. Why? because I'm sure every parent, just like me, worries about their kid having a better lifestyle than they did. And one of the best financial vehicles you can use is buying life insurance and putting your kids, your spouse, your loved ones as a beneficiary. God forbid anything happens to you, that money comes and covers your liabilities, your expenses, and has enough left for your loved ones to continue living at least the same lifestyle for the years to come, at least 10, 15, 20 years. And if you do proper planning, for lifetime. So if you want to understand how this whole concept works, and you want to understand what type of life insurance you have, what kind of benefits and terms you have, get hold of me. You can follow me everywhere at MySmile in my YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, every platform in social media at MySmile. Direct message me and I'll get back to you. All my consultations are free. I'll be happy to sit down with you and give you some feedbacks so you better understand what you have and you understand if there is a need to increase your coverage. Believe me, after many years in the industry, people realize sooner or later that the information that I'm sharing with them, they realize it's a fact and they need to act on it. Don't delay. Worry about you and your family and your loved ones. I believe they all deserve a good lifestyle. Okay? So hopefully this couple of bullet points will make you ponder and rethink about your finances, especially when it comes to life insurance. If you have one, consider upgrading your coverage. If you don't, take action now. Sometimes, and in many cases, it's going to be too late. People pass away too late, and sometimes people get very heavy sickness, and a lot of times in this condition, insurance company is going to decline your policy. Follow me everywhere on social media at MySmile and share this video. And if you have questions, get hold of me and put your comments. I review every comment. Take care. See you guys next time.